Pradeep, in your estimate, how is the nature of governance likely to change in the next 5 years on the back of this verdict?
I mean, there will बहुत कुछ होगा.
क्या होगा?
Government में बहुत कुछ होगा. बहुत meaning the style approach towards the delivery will be far more greater now, considering this verdict.
Yes, yes.
Because क्या होता है कि आपने 5 साल में बहुत सबसे ज़्यादा डिलीवरी की, उसके बाद अगले 5 साल में भी डिलीवरी की, but in comparison to that डिलीवरी का इस लेवल नेचुरली कम होगा और एक्सपेक्टेशन का लेवल और बढ़ता है.
Because you kept telling me that the reason why the NDA had the edge was delivery. You and I have discussed it.
Yeah.
That's why they've survived anti-incumbency of 10 years, which is an achievement in itself. But obviously what they did, I think, Rahul, and this is subject to discussion, is they set their expectations so high. The reality on the ground, remember COVID, post-COVID, incomes falling, they created that as if India was in an idyllic situation.
There is another part to this. The articulation that we have covered so much ground, that so many lives have been improved,
the repetition
made the person who is left out feel more left out.
No, so can I show that? If you look at the rural seats, take a look at this, it actually captures that. If you look at the national picture, look at the rural seats of India and see how the situation has changed on the rural seats. Of the seats where the rural population is more than 60%, the India Alliance's tally has gone up 73, the NDA's tally is down 32. So it is in rural India that there is a bit of a churn that's happening.
On your question, but how would governance change? And I personally believe that a whole host of new subsidies will have to come in. Subsidy as a percentage of GDP we were discussing is down at 1.3% only. So it's not like Modi has given enough a number of subsidies and there is no elbow room left. I think there will be far too many doles now. You will see economy therefore will take a back seat. I mean the GDP numbers and the other numbers, and you will see far more spending to add more safety nets.
That's a unidimensional view. You have capex as one view now. The second view is consumption. Consumption is both a political compulsion and an economic compulsion. So there will be a focus to deliver consumption. How do you prop up consumption? How do you create rooms for that? So the income support group, this much before the verdict, I had said that 2.1 lakh crore mein se paisa women transfers mein jayega. Maybe the women transfer will become national scheme just like the PM Kisan.
Yeah.
So there will be an enhanced focus on this.
Right.
There will be a pressure to be more pro-poor. That is the political articulation. And there will be a pressure to go anti-corruption.
All this khatakat pressure now it seems to be true.
Khatakat has come.
So khatakat pressure,
No, it's one of those things that, we don't know whether khatakat has worked. There could be various factors. Look at this.
But each of them adds something.
I'll be honest. For me, as takeaway of this election, this is the ultimate state-by-state election. Yeah. The same rules that may apply in one state don't apply in the neighboring state. If it was a khatakat election, then they would have got a majority. Then I would have called it a khatakat election. Truth of the matter is, Uttar Pradesh had its own politics, Rajasthan had its own politics, Haryana had its own politics, Bihar had its very different politics.
The opposition was able to bring the seat to a 543-seat election.
Not more than 543.
got it down to that.
I would say it was 28 states of India, each with distinctive. Look at how Kashmir has voted. Look at how Punjab has voted differently.
So Rajdeep, I have just written a piece in which I have used 2 lines which I'll share with you. In 2004, L.K. Advani, when they lost, said that all election verdict was an aggregation of state verdicts.
Yes.
Was the mandate. This verdict is an aggregation of many individual grievances, whether it is the youth, whether it is a farmer, whether it's a rural guy, whether it's a Dalit, whether and that has been, so the silent voter has spoken.
Exactly. The silent voter has spoken.
So Pradeep, what could you have done differently? If you were to look at this, what in the immediate post-mortem that you've done, there'll be lots of post-mortems happening in the BJP and in the other parties as well. What could you have potentially done differently?
So I'll have to deploy more senior teams in Uttar Pradesh and state where this can go, I mean, particularly where the Dalit population in sizable numbers. For example, in southern and eastern India, where language is a barrier, तो वहां पे क्या करते हैं कि सीनियर पर्सन्स को ज्यादा डिप्लॉय करके रखते हैं. दैट इज द
You've got those complicated states, right?
इसीलिए आंध्र प्रदेश इतना आसान नहीं है. आप असेंबली का रिजल्ट देखिए क्या मीनिंग है. 150 प्लस आउट ऑफ 175 फॉर एनडीए. In Orissa, also you see the Orissa assembly election vote share bang on matching 41% for both the party. But see the seats here, it is about 75 for BJP and in 50s for this is what we have predicted. You are saying why the dead hit? That's the dead hit in term of vote share, but in term of seats here, see how it is different in Orissa.
So can I show you?
Yeah, Orissa
assembly numbers again. You know, obviously there are things that did go wrong, and if you look at the Odisha numbers have the BJD and the BJP in the range that was predicted. BJP 77 up 54, the BJD at 52 up 61. The BJP here set to form the government by itself for the first time, 147 seats in total. The BJP quite comfortably placed.
And we predicted between 62 to 80 for BJP and even for the BJD. And see the vote share in this Odisha assembly.
What is the Odisha assembly looking like at the moment?
BJP government.
BJP has formed? No, but these are still not results, I'm told.
No, so if you look at the vote share, the BJD's vote share is 40, BJP vote share is 41, Congress is at 13.
Yeah.
So it's a dead heat in terms of vote share.
And we also
in Odisha. The BJD had 45 last time, the BJP had 32. So if you compare, the BJP's gone up by about 9 and the BJD's come down by 5.
And Rahul, we predicted 42% vote share for both the party.
Okay, let's now come to Andhra Pradesh, which clearly is a yo-yo state from having Jagan Reddy sweep to 109 leads for the TDP, 132 up 109. Jagan Reddy at 15 down 136. This is the collapse of hubris. The collapse of hubris. You get voted to power, you start thinking that you're God, and then this is what happens at the end of it. And remember, if Chandrababu Naidu had not been arrested, it may not have swung in this dramatic fashion. So you overreach, misuse investigative intelligence agencies, police agencies, Pradeep, it can swing very badly against you.
You know, if I had a common theme as a takeaway, it would be arrogance.
So
today, arrogance has been taught a lesson across this country in different forms.
देश की जनता ने अहंकार को सबक
You
सिखाया.
see, you know, let's not say again, I wouldn't say uniform, but there are enough examples, and maybe Jagan is himself. Look, Jagan did a lot of strong welfare stuff. You know, let's give credit. This is the irony of it. The celebrations, though, as you're seeing in those pictures, are taking place at Chandrababu Naidu's house. There is his son, Nara Lokesh, and others who are celebrating.
But this is how political fortunes change. Just a few months back, he was rotting inside the jail, and nobody, no big leader was actually going and meeting him.
Yeah, but you know,
and now he's the kingmaker almost at a point in time.
I think in UP, the BJP thought they took the election for granted, as if it was, a done deal. The sort of Modi-Yogi combined would be too strong. Didn't work. We've seen to some extent this in Andhra Pradesh, the kind of politics played. People didn't appreciate the kind of bruising politics that was going on in Andhra Pradesh. People have not appreciated the cynical politics of Maharashtra. Isko tod do, usko tod do, sarkar bana do. Didn't work in Maharashtra. So there are enough examples, Rahul, I think, that suggests that politicians need to take a step back sometimes and not take the voter for granted. There you've got Pawan Kalyan. He's got a Russian wife, by the way. I think she's his third wife. She's a Russian. Yeah, that's his third wife. And she's there with Pawan Kalyan. Preeti saying, how does it matter? Sorry, I won't emphasize that again. But that's his wife. And she's giving Pawan Kalyan's got a big boost. He will be part of this government. Some say could even become a deputy chief minister in Andhra Pradesh.
One from a margin of 7.
Okay, we need to take a break at this point. I need to take a lunch break. But Preeti, Rahul, Pradeep and others, I'm sure, will continue. It's been fascinating, this election. One of the best general elections in a long time, simply because it's been so competitive. That's what we wanted.
You know, and so much hard work went into making this election intelligence dashboard. And for a long time, by the feedback I was getting from others in the newsroom, a bit dispirited कि इससे क्या होगा, ये तो जीतने वाले हैं, फिर ग्राफिक्स में क्या इंटरेस्ट है, तुम ऐसे ही करते हो, कुछ नहीं चलने वाला. And now just the fact that it's become so exciting. It's exciting because it's not over even at this moment. If you look at the seats where the margin is less than 10,000 votes, there are 44 seats still up for grabs. Even as voting continues late into the afternoon, 44 seats up for grabs, evenly distributed between the NDA and the India Alliance. 20 of those for India, 23 for the NDA. So this election is far from settled. 295 is haunting. Rahul Gandhi said Moosewala 295. I think that could well be the track, except that he thought he'll be 295. The NDA is at 295. So that's just the way things stand.